shake.
Yo, what is up guys? Welcome back to another video. And recently, if you guys haven't known, I've been participating in a lot of 15k tournaments and big tournaments. If you guys haven't checked out my video on my chest opening and on my tournament highlights, I sort of mentioned that as well. And I also try to talk about a bunch of tournament tips and stuff so that I can get better. So go check out those stuff, especially my tournament highlight series. But anyways, if you guys haven't known, I've been placing pretty highly in a bunch of 15k tournaments, top 10 twice, top 50, and a top 30. So that's actually really good. I got a bunch of cards and a bunch of legendaries, so I pretty much have all the legendaries except the lumberjack. So I can probably place out a bunch of new content for you guys with a bunch of new decks. So a lot of you guys also didn't know that. You guys want to know how I got that high, and like what deck I used and the strategy, so that you guys can do it as well. Okay, so this is what I did. I went into a match with a friend of mine, and then he let me win. He boosted me up, and you guys may call win trading, right? But it's called very smart play. No, I'm just kidding. I don't do that type of shit. But legit, I've been trying to make a name for myself, even though I'm pretty shit at this game. But Chicken Bob, the best name out there. It will bring all the girls to the yard. But I've been using this deck to win all of these tournaments. And if you guys didn't know, recently a bunch of outside of game tournaments, like real life esport tournaments, have been going on recently, really prominent. There's been one called the Northern Arena tournament in Canada, the most shittiest ethical tundra out there. No, I'm just kidding, guys. If you guys live in Canada, I love you guys. You guys have the dopest things, like milk in a bag. Like, that shit's lit. But also, there's been a tournament, a huge tournament in Shanghai, and there's gonna be a huge one in Paris as well. I advise you guys, if you guys are in the competitive scene, to check that out. They've been really hype. And also, there's a thing called a Super Magical Cup, which is broadcasted every week. The most consistent esport tournament out there. You don't even need to go to any places. You don't need to fly to a different country. You just need to participate in their qualifiers, which is inside the game. And anyways, all their information is gonna be inside the description down below. And I'm actually, last week they have a $200 prize pool. First place gets $100, second place gets $50, and the third and fourth place they get actually no, first place gets 200, second place 100, third and fourth place gets $50, which is super insane. The best players inside the competitive community play inside it every single week. Shout out to them. And I actually placed second inside their tournament last week. It was super hype. They have the best tournament competitive scene out there. They have it every single week, so I advise you guys to check them out if you guys are interested. And if you want to see how to get better and the best players out there, I advise you guys to check out their stream every week and their YouTube channel. Anyways, guys, so I've been using this deck, and I'll do a quick rundown on this. But anyways, I'll be right back with my replays from the Super Magic Cup, which I got second from. You actually need to have two decks from inside that tournament. You need to win two. You need to win with each deck every single round, and it's a bracketed format. So basically, I never dropped the game with this deck. I ran two decks, my Rocket Psycho deck and my Giant Bowler deck. So basically, I dropped a bunch of games with my Giant Bowler deck, but I have never lost a battle with this Giant Rocket deck. So I'll show you guys how to play this deck. And anyways, I'll be right back with the replays from the Super Magic Cup, so you can watch and see how I play this deck. While I talk about the strategies and tactics which you want to do with this deck. What's up, guys? We're back, and actually shout out to Super Magic Cup for allowing me to use their footage from their tournament inside this video. Anyways, let's go on to this deck. So basically, the original deck of this consisted of basically Ice Wizard, poison, zap, Inferno Tower, miner, guards, mini Pekka, and elixir collector. So I use a hugely different version of this deck, and this deck has actually been around for a long time, ever since the SHT giant decks have been really rising to popularity. Just because this deck is such a good counter to it, because of Inferno Tower, this is the anti-meta deck. This deck pretty much counters every other minor deck, every giant deck, pretty much every single deck you can think of, just because of how defensive it is, and because it relies on doing damage to your enemy from your own base. It basically sends stuff to their tower across the river, like using miners, rockets, poisons. But anyways, in the original deck, I probably show a screenshot right here. Basically, they didn't have the bowler, nor did it have the rocket. So basically, the thing you want to do with this deck is you want to build an elixir advantage with the elixir collector, keep on pumping as much as possible, and then you want to buy as much time, and then your main damage dealers are your miner and your poison. So the things you want to do with this deck is that you want to drop your elixir collector as much as possible. Then if they have a pump, you want to drop the miner on their pump. If they have a princess, you also want to drop a miner on their princess. And if they don't have anything to miner, you usually want to miner the tower in the beginning of the match, just so they could get that chip damage on their tower. But if they send any troops at you, you want to defend it with your combination of Inferno Tower, Ice Wizard, guards, and mini Pekka. And sometimes poison if they drop a bunch of troops put together. It's like if they drop a huge ass push with like with Musketeer, Ice Wizard, guards, mini Pekka, you want to poison all of that for value. Just because once they figure out that your deck only sends damage with miner and poisons, you don't really have a huge like push to do. You only have miner and poison to damage your tower. That's your main win condition. Once they figure that out, usually they're gonna try to overwhelm you with a huge push, and then poison is your friend, guys. So Inferno Tower is there to mainly take out the huge pushes, to take out the tanks, the bowlers, and so on. Ice Wizard is there to slow down everything. It's your main splash, and it's your main defensive card. Ice Wizard is so good with this deck. It's also your main anti-air, so if they have a Lava Hound deck, Ice Wizard you're probably gonna need to save that every single time for the Lava Hound. And guards is basically to surround any troops and do extra damage and kill the back line, such as the Musketeer, mini Pekka, princess, and so on. Mini Pekka is basically if their Inferno Tower fails, and if they zap the Inferno Tower, the mini Pekka will be your backup to take out any tanks. So basically, in the beginning of the game, you just want to send out miners to their tower and basically do as much damage as possible. You usually want to send out, if they have a pump and princess, you always want to take out the pump first and the princess first with the miner. Don't go for damage first, because to send out the miner and the poison on the tower, directly on the tower, just for damage, you need a huge elixir advantage, because if you keep on doing that, you're just throwing away elixir onto your tower, and you're gonna build a huge push, a huge counter push, which you can't take on, and it'll overwhelm you. So in the beginning, you want to miner their pumps and their princesses, and then later on in the game, when you build an elixir advantage, you want to miner directly onto your tower. So the thing with this deck is that you do not want them to guess where your miner is going. If they guess where your miner is going, that's no bueno. Like, your miner is their main thing to take out stuff on their opposite side of the map. So you always want to switch up your miner, place them, confuse them. If you didn't know, you could place your miner on the right, like on the side of the tower that's facing the other side of the tower, but you can't put it directly in the middle, or else both towers will lock onto the miner. So you usually want to place the miner on the square. I'll probably show a screenshot of that as well on the screen right now, where the miner, it will confuse a bunch of people. And also, the thing is, by the time you put your miner on the pump, usually they'll guess where your miner is going to be on the pump most of the times. So you gotta be tricky. So you usually want to bait out whatever they use to counter your miner, so I could do an even extra value poison. So if you drop a miner on their pump and they counter it with guards, then you always have poison to take out their guards and their pump. So even if they counter your miner, you always have your second way of getting to the pump or damage on the tower with the use of poison. So you usually want to bait out their troops to counter your miner, and then to to basically put down an even higher value poison. So basically, if your miner fails on their pump, you can always poison. And basically, if at the end of the day, if they keep on guessing your miner, that's not really good, because poison, even though it does take out a bunch of ticks on the pump, it's not the best way to take out pumps. So basically, at the end of the time, like, the opponent is gonna expect you to drop miner on the pump, and then they're gonna try to defend their pump, right? But actually, you're gonna be tricky, okay? You're gonna sexually confuse them. You're gonna drop the miner on top of the tower, and then you're gonna poison the pump and the tower at the same time. The thing with poison and miner is because that they have such good synergy with together, just because poison slows down all of the counters to the miner, which buys miner extra shots, and poison takes out any counter push, which your opponent drops to take out the miner, and then the poison will take out the counter push, so you won't have to deal with the stuff that they deal with your miner. Because this is Counter-Strike, boys. It's all about countering. But so you want to drop the miner on their tower, and then drop a poison on their pump. So if what happens if they don't have princess, or if they don't have pump? So you really want to save miner. You usually want to drop miner on the tower just to lure out any troops. You don't want to drop miner and poison at the same time in the beginning if they don't have pump or princess. Just drop a miner on the tower, see what happens, because it's only a 3 elixir investment, and usually you get 150 to 200 damage if they don't guess it, which is super good. So in the beginning, you really don't want to overinvest with your miner and poison, just because that's 7 elixir wasted, and they'll just come at you with a huge ass push, and you can't really handle it. Your body won't be ready. So at the end, you basically want to miner and poison every single time. It doesn't matter if you use mini Pekka to counter your miner, since poison doesn't do anything to mini Pekka, but still poison it anyway, just because poison is half of your damage output, and at the end of the day, you have such an elixir advantage that you really need to convert that into damage onto towers. And because poison slows down everything inside its vicinity, it'll also buy your miner extra shots. So 2 shots, if your poison buys your miner 2 shots, that's 100 extra damage, as well as the poison damage, which is probably 300 damage. And in the long run, if you keep on doing that over and over again, you burn out your opponent. So the thing about this deck is that you never want your opponent to basically get to your tower. This is the most defensive deck with elixir collector and Inferno tower, which is huge defensive investments. So is Ice Wizard. So you never want them to get to your tower, build an elixir advantage, and then burn them out with miner and poisons, and then take out their counter troops with the poisons if they counter your miner effectively. And also, you always want to miner their pump. So basically, if you guys didn't know, I don't use this version of this deck because this deck has been up ever since the SHT deck, and so a lot of people figured out how to counter the miner and this deck in general. So basically, Rocket is guaranteed, unlike miner, and because Rocket, if they say they realize that if they step back and if they try to pump up and if they try to build a big push from the back, I'm just gonna rocket them their towers, their pumps, if they set a big push near the tower, I'm just gonna rocket it with the extra value. If they set a big push at the river, I'm just gonna rocket everything at the river, all of their backline troops, if they try to set a big push. So that's what my rocket deck is so good at. If they realize that your only way of doing damage to your tower is through rocket cycles, then they're gonna try to send a huge push at you, and then you just rocket that huge push. I mean, it's a dirty ass deck. God damn it, it's so cancerous, but it works, guys, and it's fair play because it's in the game. So I don't think Rocket is overpowered at all, and I don't think any of these decks are any better than each of either of these variations. All 3 decks are really good. This deck doesn't involve miner, so if you guys don't have miner, this is probably the best thing in this deck. And also Fireball can be replaced by the poison, but right now poison is in all ways better than Fireball just because of its extra range. So if you drop pump anywhere on your map, I can either poison it or rocket it. So that's what I love about this deck. But later on, if they nerf poison, you can always use Fireball. And if they buff mirror, I would recommend replacing poison with mirror so that you could basically do double rockets in it. Oh my god, hide your kids, hide their wife. This deck, you're gonna have nightmares about this deck. But basically, the thing about this deck is that it's a lot harder to consistently send out damage, because usually your minor poison, it will pretty much do 200 to 300 damage every single time, but you have the availability of taking out pumps and doing it one at a time, so it's more versatile. But with the rocket version of this deck, which I run, it's more heavy, so basically you want an even bigger elixir advantage just because it costs more and you drop 6 elixir at one time. It's very easy for the opponent to take advantage of that. So you usually want something to be already standing on your base, like Inferno Tower that's still there, a bowler, like after you're taking out one of their pushes, then you drop a rocket, because then you usually have one of your defensive troops still standing, like a bowler, an Inferno Tower, or a pump. So you never want to rocket the tower before you have one or two pumps down, especially if it's not in double elixir time yet. You usually want to rocket their tower only in that situation, only if you can rocket their tower and a pump at the same time, because then that takes out their pump advantage. So basically it's an even elixir trade, and you get to take out 500 damage on the tower. Only 5 rockets can take out a tower, and with the additional damage of poison, you can pretty much do it in less, pretty much 4 or 3 rockets if you keep on poisoning your tower. So basically, as long as they drop troops near a tower, always find an excuse to use spells on their tower. So you only want to do that only when you have an elixir advantage. However, you usually want to rocket at the end, and once they have 1000 HP, you usually want to rocket. You want to build up a huge elixir advantage and immediately rocket their tower, even if they don't have any troop to the tower. Just rocket their tower and then quickly cycle back to another rocket as much as possible. It doesn't even matter if they have a huge push coming at you at the end, just rocket the tower, because usually rocketing the tower is a really good way to finish off a tower, even if they have 1000 HP, because if you think about it, you just need a rocket and a cycle back to another rocket, which isn't that bad, but you need to make sure that you have something on defense to distract their push before you do that double rocket. Oh my god, and goddamn, this is such a dumb deck. I just made it so it's like a variation to like the minor poison decks and the giant bowler decks out there, but oh my god, this rocket cycle deck is so dirty. It's just a scumbag move. Like, you're sending a rocket at your enemy's tower like every 5 seconds. Like, what is this? Is this like the US versus Iraq? Okay, whoa there, Squackbite, you're being a bit too edgy. Keep it down a bit, okay? You don't wanna incite any flame wars in the comments down below, okay? Don't hurt me, please. But anyways, guys, we're just upholding Kim Jong-un's legacy. The Rocket Master himself, Kim Jong-un, all bow down to him. The Lord, the one and only, the Bacon Master as well. But anyways, guys, I might make a new series like this where I break down many iconic decks, like Tryhard Fekta, Lava Hound Loon, stuff like that, decks that are well known in the community. And tell me, guys, if you want that series in the comments down below. And also, if you play this cancerous deck, switch out with Hog Rider, switch out the Miner or the Rocket with Hog Rider if you're gonna play on ladder. Tell me, guys, whether or not you like this deck, and tell me as well, tell me if you guys like this new banner that I made. I think it's pretty lit. I added my social media so you can follow me, because I'm a fucking sellout. I think it's pretty lit as fuck. It gets me going at night, but if you know what I mean. But anyways, guys, this deck, I think it's actually harder to penetrate this deck. But okay, I'm so immature. But I think it's harder to penetrate this deck than to actually play it. It's just such a it's such a hard deck to play against. So I'm sorry if this deck becomes super popular. It's really hard to. Oh my god, my voice cracked. Oh my god, I really need to kill myself right now. But it's really hard to play against. Anyways, guys, I see you guys in the next video. I know I've been rambling a lot inside this video, but I just wanted to tell you guys how to play this deck. And I'll see you guys in the next video. God damn it, this video is too damn long.